Okay, I'm going to read chapter 1, or as much as I can of it, and you'll see the words instead of the orbs this time. The Universal One, chapter 1. God is in reality and exists in substance. God is thinking mind. The substance or body of God is light. The one universal substance, which is God, is a tangible substance, a thinking substance, comprehensible and describable, and possessed of principles which are familiar to man through man's observation of the one universal substance in created things. The substance of all created things is light. The one substance of thinking mind is all that exists. The created universe is the registration in matter of the ideal of thinking mind. Mind is expressed in light. Light is the storehouse of the energy of thinking mind. The energy of the universe is the energy of thinking mind. The universe is a universe of energy. Energy is expressed in light. Mind is the universe. Mind substance is spiritual substance. Spirit is light. Spirit is the ultimate, the eternal, though finite, substance. Spirit is not infinite. Nothing in this universe of motion is infinite. Man's concept of an infinite God, possessing infinite knowledge and infinite power, creator of an infinite universe of infinite extension, is not in accord with the laws of motion. This is a boundless, eternal, dimensionless universe of definite limitation, both as to all cause and to all effects of cause. Dimension is an illusion of relation to effects, which are in themselves but illusions. All cause is comprehensible to, and all effects are measurable by man. A limited, measurable universe cannot be infinite, and a divinity limited as to his range of cause, which is in fact limits the possible range of effect, cannot be infinite. Light is the living substance of mind in action. It is the creating principle of the one substance. The one substance is the etheric spiritual substance of the one universal mind. The entire created universe of all that is, ever has been, or ever will be, is but the one substance in motion, light. God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. Matter is light. God and matter are one. Spirit and matter are the same substance. That substance is light. There are not two substances in the universe. There cannot be two substances in the universe. The substance of the universal mind is a living substance. That which man calls life is an inherent property of the entirety of mind. Light is life. There is but one life in the universe. The whole of the universe is but one living, breathing, pulsing being. There are not two lives or two living beings in the universe. There are not two of anything in the universe. The universe and all that is one. Well, that was chapter 1. Now for chapter 2, the life principle. Life is the pulsing electromagnetic oscillation of thinking mind. All life is immortal life. There is no mortal life. Life is a vitalizing property of all matter. Life is in and of all matter. Man's concept of life is not logical. Man conceives life to be a property apart from matter, quickening compound elements of inorganic matter into living, functioning organic beings. Man defines organic matter as that in which life begins to function, imbuing it with vitality and intelligence. Man defines inorganic matter as those elements or compounds of matter in which there is no life and in which there is no vitality nor intelligence. Man conceives life as spontaneously generated in matter at favorable temperatures and under favorable conditions. Such concepts are not true concepts. In searching for the life principle, man is attempting to discover something corresponding to a germ which quickens lifeless matter. Life is not a germ, and no matter is lifeless. Life is in and of all things from the beginning, always and forever. Life has no beginning. Life has no ending. Life is eternal. Life is in and of all inorganic as well as all organic matter. Life is in and of all of the elements and the atoms of the elements and the compounds of the elements. Life is in and of the sun of the atom, the planets of the atom, and the heavens surrounding the universe of the atom. Life is the effect produced on the substance of mind by the sequence of alternating electromagnetic pulsations, which constitute the process of thinking. The progress of this effect is registered in integrating light and manifests itself in that orderly, periodic phenomena inherent in all matter and all things which man calls growth. All growing things are imbued with the life principle. All things are growing things. All matter is evolving. All matter is growing. All matter is living. Life is merely the registration in matter of states of motion of thinking mind. The substance of mind has the appearance of many states of motion, which man calls the elements of matter. The elements of matter do not vary in substance, they vary only in their states of motion. All motion is periodic and evolutionary. All motion is motion in equilibrium. No other motion is possible. All motion has the appearance of being divided into opposites. These opposites of motion shall henceforth be termed motion in inertia and motion in opposition. All that appearance which man calls matter is motion in opposition. Motion in opposition is under either preponderantly electric or magnetic domination. It is a state of motion where pressures are unequalized and sustained in their state of unequalization by the resistance of the two opposing forces of motion. The point of maximum motion in opposition is the nuclear center of a unit or system, where opposing pressures reach their point of maximum pressure. From a form of matter disappears into motion in inertia. Motion in inertia is equally electric and magnetic. Neither force dominates. It is a state of motion where pressures are equalized. Man's concept of life is energized organic substance. Man's concept of death is de-energized organic substance. There is no death. Life is eternal. The one substance of the universe cannot become de-energized. Man's concept of life belongs to motion in opposition. Man's concept of death belongs to motion in inertia. Life belongs in principle to motion. This is a universe of motion. The cause of all motion is the dynamic action of thinking of the one universal living being, which man calls God or mind, or by other names, all of which stand practically for the one ideal of fatherhood or deity. Thinking is a process, an orderly, evolutionary, periodic process of absolute limitations. All motion of thinking mind is born in the maximum high speed of the universal constant of energy. It runs the gamut of periodic and opposing deceleration and acceleration in 6 full tones, 1 double tone, and a master tone, to each of 10 lowering octaves, and a variable number of midtones in each of the last 4 octaves. The 7 tones are those so-called elements of matter, which are improperly classified in the 8 groups of the commonly accepted Mendeleev periodic table. All effects of motion which cause the appearance of these elements is that which is herein termed motion in opposition. The master tone of each octave is the record of all motion taking place within the octave. The master tones are the turning points between reaction and action, just as the double tones are the turning points between action and reaction. They are the beginnings of each new expression of energy in motion, and are records of the old. They are the ends of exhalations and the beginnings of inhalations. The master tones of each octave is the inheritance of the original motion of the thinking process of mind. These master tones are the inert gases, which are classified in the 0 group in the Mendeleev table. The state of motion of these inert gases is that of motion in inertia. Motion in inertia is that state of pressure, equilibrium, which lies between any 2 masses. The inertial line or plane is that dividing line or plane toward which all masses discharge their potential. It is the line or plane of lowest potential of 2 opposing areas of potential, where opposing pressures neutralize. This is the plane of minimum pressure of 2 opposing areas. The master tones, which represent a state of motion in inertia and are the inert gases, bear the same relationship to the elements that white bears to all the colors. They are a registration of them all. White is not included in the spectrum. It has no place there. The inert gases should not be included in the elements. They have no place there. Of this more shall be written later in its proper place. The 10 octaves constitute a cycle of evolving states of motion. This cycle includes uttermost limitations of divine possibilities, and beyond it nothing is or can be. The cycle begins with the highest note and descends the scale sequentially through man's unseen universe until hydrogen, the first element perceivable to man, is reached. There is no unseen universe. Those tones which follow hydrogen are man's visible or physical universe of matter and continue into the 10th octave. Here, elemental integration and disintegration have ended the cycle by the attainment of the equilibrium of its beginning. All motion is oscillatory, swinging in sequence between 2 apparently opposing forces, gravitation and repulsion, which are respectively electric and magnetic. This oscillatory motion is a pulsating, in-breathing and out-breathing, an inhalation and an exhalation, which is a characteristic of all matter, whether it be in units or systems of units or mass. These 2 apparently opposite forces are the father-mother forces of mind, which added together make but the one force. There is but one pendulum to the cosmic clock. All the so-called created universes of matter is but the effect of these two apparently opposing male-female forces exerting their opposition. All motion in opposition is both gravitative and repulsive. This is a characteristic of all matter. Motion at the inertial line or plane, where mass disappears, is neither gravitative nor repellative. Hence the master tones, which register effects of motion on this line or plane, should not be included in the table of the elements. All matter is characterized by periodic and alternating opposites of motion in sequence, each opposite being preponderant in sequence. Each opposite force is the cause of the other. Opposition is a characteristic appearance of all effects of motion and has no existence other than as an appearance. In inertia, this appearance always disappears. Motion and matter must not be confounded. Matter, as man understands matter, is only an appearance due to states of motion. The creation of form in matter is the apparent integration of those things which are and always have been. The decreation of form in matter is the apparent disintegration of apparently integrated things. Creation is transmutation or integration of the one simple, indivisible substance into the appearance of many complex substances and things. Creation may be likened unto the assembling of a few letters of type for the printing of a very complex ideal. Decreation may be likened unto the redistribution of type after it has served its purpose of giving expression to ideal on the printed page. Matter is light crystallized into the complex ideal of this universe, exactly as literature is type assembled into the complex ideal of a library. Matter is the registration medium of light, just as letters are the registration medium of literature. Matter is light, gravitational